to Digital Dialogues powered by CXO Digital Funds. We have been observing and talking a lot about how technology is getting advanced, how it is getting implemented and integrated within the premises of enterprises. And one of the key aspects that we will be talking today in this conversation would be that how automation is getting implemented within manufacturing industry, specifically leading it to industry 4.0 revolution. And to further delve into this topic and nitty-gritties, today we have a very special guest in our studio, Mr. Anand Deodhar, who is the Group CIO for Forcemotors. A warm welcome, Anand.
Thank you, Pratik, for inviting me. It's a rather privilege discussing with you, Chief Knowledge Officer of Strategic. So learning for me as well when I'm discussing with you.
It's all our pleasure, I would say, Anand. So, Anand, going to my first question directly, that when we talk about Industry 4.0, a lot of buzz is being around the nitty-gritties, that how it is really helping organization in terms of efficiency, productivity, further pushing the innovation aspects as well as the overall product quality enhancement, I would say. Now, coming to your overall industry, the auto manufacturing industry, how do you foresee Industry 4.0 for your vertical?
I'll just give a background. So currently, I just went through one survey which states that India is ranked third in manufacturing and fourth in terms of sale worldwide.
Mm-hmm.
So in order to sustain, be competitive, be future ready, and to be innovative as well, we need to adopt Industry 4.0, have a digital transformation of all process. When I'm saying process, there's a digital transformation involved in that. Okay, so in the today's rapidly changing industrial landscape, the fusion of cyber, digital technology, and traditional Indian manufacturing process is what we know as a Industry 4.0.
Okay.
So Industry 4.0 is not only about adopting technology, it's about how we transform every aspect of our process. Industry 4.0 has brought unprecedented changes in terms of improvements, I would rather say, not changes, in terms of efficiency, productivity, which has also led to cost reduction. I'll quote some examples on how Industry 4.0 has helped industries, auto manufacturing, which I have implemented personally.
Sure.
So we'll start with basically any industry means during weekends, we expect that the consumption of power, fuel, water, air should be zero or should be minimum. But things don't work like that, right? There is always some leakage, there is always some machine which is kept on running 365 and 24/7. So how do we identify that? So we need to have sensors installed at each line level.
Okay.
Which is connected to MES. MES, when I'm saying MES, that is Manufacturing Execution System Network.
Okay.
This goes to a dashboard, centralized monitoring dashboard, wherein I can see and observe that which line is running when it should be idle. And I can go and control that aspect. This is one thing. Similarly for air, water, pressure, everything. Next example is, you are all aware of that now we are moving to sustainability. And while there is no mandate, but we are now trying to measure our sustainability output.
Okay.
And going forward, there will be mandate from government. So how do we deal with this? Right. So what we have done is that we install solar across all the roof panels on the rooftops of our factory.
Panels on the roof.
Yeah. So this solar panel works where as long as they are dust free. Right. But once dust settles, the output goes down. Right. How do we manage that? So one option is we keep a person who goes up and clean that, but this is not a safe option rather. So what we have done is that we have procured drones, especially for this purpose, to clean the solar panels.
Okay.
And we get a clean output of power, 365 days, whenever the sun is there, of course. Next example is quality.
Okay.
So in any case, traditionally, at every line level, there is a quality person who checks the job and he certifies whether it should go to the next stage or not. Having said this, it all depends on the individual competency, his mood, and how he sees those things. And the quality goes up and down depending on the person who is there, right? So in order to have sustainable quality, what I've done is that I had deployed camera vision.
Okay.
So I got a good object. I take a camera vision of that object, have a good what we say parameters, and against that I compare in the line. So whatever are bad, it's get automatically alerted, and the alert is sent to the control inspector who removes this part. So now I'm getting a consistent good quality.
Okay.
That is another example of quality, that is feed forward, feed backward, and alarm escalation. So when I'm saying feed forward, feed backward, it means I'm giving alarm to my upward process whenever there is fault. So at this stage, if there is a fault, I need to tell the next person as well as the producer that this fault is there. So in that also we can configure the Industry 4.0.
Okay.
So another example is which I implemented recently is having hand-on displays on the lines, which tells where we are and where we want to go. So these are the few examples which are related to Industry 4.0 which I had implemented.
Okay, great. And these, I would say, are something which have been out of box thinking, because the kind of implementation and usage of machines that you are doing across the process, that is commendable. One thing which I observed as you were explaining is that while these machines are being implemented, a human intervention or perspective is also being required over there to ensure that yes, things are running smoothly. How do you see this integration of humans and machines, with machine now slowly taking over those operational aspects where the margin of error is high, and you need a more of real time assessment in the processing phase?
So I see wherever there is a repetitive task which needs to have consistent output, we need to have machines in place. So for example, I'll talk about cobots. Right, cobots are robots which work with the workmen together. Both work together and get to give output. So these cobots are especially used in weld shops where we have consistent output. We need to spot weld things. Other places, for example, in case I want to fit a windshield, so we use a cobot over there where we get a consistent quality. So on these cases, we need to have these scenarios.
Okay, great. So while it's more about automating the repetitive steps, how do you look forward to IoT devices within the auto manufacturing space?
So as I told you earlier, IoT is there to stay. In case we want to be competitive and future ready and sustain, we need to have IoT in our operational landscape. The IoTs needs to be complemented by MES system as well, because they don't go, they go hand in hand, wherein I can get a complete view of all my factory, whatever is going on, sitting at my table.
True. And as these dependency on IoT would be increasing, because slowly that integration, like you said, there were simpler machine for the automation perspective. The next step is IoT devices, because that is the key if you want to move a level up. With IoT devices, I foresee there's a cyber security aspect also that comes attached with them. So, what is your perspective towards the cyber security incidents or attacks on these IoT devices, and how do you suggest, how do you mitigate these cyber attacks, or best practices that should be in place?
So with IoT device connected, so as we are going ahead, more and more smart factories are coming up. When I'm saying smart factories, it means most of the machines are sensor based. Every machine is giving output, and I'm getting the loads of data. So what I do with this data, I need to have the storage capacity as well. I need to analyze that data and take a right output from there, right? So now there comes a what we say difficult question, which traditional and new technology has come up. Traditionally, it says that you should keep your OT segment isolated from the IT segment, right? But with so much data coming in, my current OT segment doesn't rather support this. Means I need to scale up my processing capacity, my storage capacity, which is not possible in case I got everything on premises. Having said this, if I expose this to cloud, then I'm at risk because I'm exposing the OT environment to the cloud. So I would say there is no right or wrong answer into this. The thing is, depending on the condition and depending on the what we say infrastructure available, you need to take a conscious call. Try to keep all the OT data isolated from the IT data. So
Okay.
this will protect you. And in case you want to have OT and IT network together, you want to expose it to cloud, have a firewall in place
Okay.
which can protect you. But having said that firewall in place, it doesn't mean you get 100% protection, but it will protect you a little bit for sure.
Okay, great. And I think we have understood that how Industry 4.0 is eventually progressing and helping the enterprises grow. The key factors of ensuring and understanding the utilization of machines, of automation, and emerging technologies like AI, IoT devices within the premises is something where the judicious call need to be taken, because as we depend more on these emerging technologies, safeguarding the perimeter becomes more important. Although, as rightly said by Anand, it's not something which gives you a 100% guarantee, but that's something best that you can do from your side to ensure a much more secure environment within your premises. Thank you so much, Anand, for this discussion with you. I'm sure this is helpful for our audiences.
Thank you, Pratik, having me here.
And thank you for tuning with us today on this episode of Digital Dialogues. Watch out for more such episodes and more insights delving into the key topics that enterprises are facing on a daily basis. Thank you.
Thank you.